Yo, what's poppin', gamers? WQ'd here, gamers. What's good? Now, gamers, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, guys, go over to my Twitch channel and follow my Twitch channel. And I know you guys care about my Twitch channel because I get like 5 follows on Twitch every time I make a YouTube video. It's pretty game changing. Now, guys, this video, the reason I'm talking about my Twitch channel is because something really incredible happened in the past few days. This was earth-shattering. This was completely life-changing. This is actually a completely life-changing moment. In my life, there's a few times I can say my life changed completely. January 2017, right at the end of the month, I had an epiphany. My life changed forever. 2016, I lost a race in a tournament. My life changed completely since that moment. Big deal. A few days ago, that video I made about seeing the future, I wasn't making that up. I wasn't lying. That was real. I really did see the future. My life changed forever on that moment. Is a big deal. It's a really big deal. And I'm coming to you guys. What happened after I saw the future, guys? Because I didn't really feel any different. Like nothing really changed. But literally 2 days after that moment, where I was going nuts in Tetris, I was going nuts. Just after my podcast, this is a week actually. 2 days after that, I completely stopped tilting. I completely shut down. No more tilting, no more raging, 100%. And I think this is a permanent change. And I've done this before in the past where I have stopped tilting for a few days or 3 days or even 3 or 4 days at a time, completely no tilting, amazing gameplay. I've done this before in the past. Every single time, I've done this 4 or 5 times. Every single time, I eventually start tilting again. And it's usually worse, I start tilting worse than I did before. So it's like a completely failed experiment. Now, I will say in 2015, I pretty much didn't tilt for like a month and a half, maybe 2 months. Now, I do believe that was because of emotional shock. I was emotionally in shock and life was insane back then. This is permanent. Frankly, 100%, this is 100% a permanent thing. It's the exact same when I said I'm gonna do a significant period of no reset runs with never resetting. And I did 9 months of no reset runs, which was exactly in my calculations. And I mean, I don't know, are people doing 9 months of no reset runs? Are people doing, I know a bunch of people doing like the 100 no reset run challenge, and I'm like, I did 650 no reset runs, 100 no reset runs is not really an issue to me. Are people, is that exciting? Is that surprising? Is 650 no reset runs, is that like a shock? To me it wasn't. I feel like I could do 2,000. I did start resetting, obviously. There are several reasons. I'm gonna go into that in a later video, but gamers, we need to talk about this life-changing moment where I'm stopped totally, because I don't know, like the first few days I was like, this is game-changing. This is a real shock. And the real reason I thought that my stream is way better. Hold up, gamers. That's a lot better. The real reason my first few days I'm streaming, I'm not angry, I'm not tilting, I'm not angry, and I'm basically, all my emotions gone, all the negative emotion, because I'm not tilting anymore, you know, there's no rage. And I start having fun. I start goofing around on the stream because I'm like, I'm having fun, I'm playing the game, I like playing the game, it runs pretty good, I'm having fun. I'm having a lot of fun, and it's been like that, my stream's been like that the past 4 days. It's been nuts, it's been nuclear. This has been insane. Frankly, I'm putting out the best content on the internet. The best speedrunning content in terms of entertainment, but also I'm the best speedrunner on the planet. I'm kind of doing both at the same time. I'm doing both at the same time, and I'm not tilting at all. It's correctly, it's incredible. It's insanely incredible. But yeah, like I've been thinking about it. I don't know, maybe not tilting, completely not tilting permanently. Maybe it's not that big of a deal. Maybe other people are doing that. Do you guys know it? Have you ever heard or seen, or do you know of any gamer at all in the planet that basically doesn't tilt? And tilting, there's 2 main things I'm thinking. I'm raging and then not recovering from mistakes and compounding mistakes. So it's like, I say they're both kind of the same thing. I'm not raging at all. There's no rage at all. So that's nice. There's no compound mistakes. Like mistakes do not compound. That's really good. So I'm actually saving time because the mistakes don't compound. Recovering from mistakes optimally, I actually am not optimally recovering from mistakes. Now I do think a lot of that is because of experience. Like I just don't have the experience. I think 6 months from now I'm gonna be a lot better at that. But we'll see what happens in 6 months. But yeah, like have you guys heard or seen anybody do this? Because again, it's like, once you can do it, it's not that shocking. It's not actually that surprising. The reason I stopped not tilting, it wasn't to improve my stream dramatically, which I did. My personality on YouTube is now the same personality on Twitch. A lot of people are saying, why is it personality on Twitch so different than YouTube? Why is that? Like what happened? And It's mostly the stress of the game. It freaks me out when I'm speedrunning and it's like hard to speedrun. It's actually kind of the same reason I haven't been speedrunning in the past 6 months very often, because I just can't handle the stress and be entertaining, and it's like I want a very good, very entertaining experience. So I just haven't been speedrunning and being like, whatever, I'm kind of focused on YouTube. I'm not tilted anymore. There's no stress, there's no anxiety. So basically, it's like a really wholesome, good experience. It's really mind-blowing. Like, this is mind-blowing. This is life-changing. This is completely life-changing. If you want to change your life, if you want to experience a life-changing moment, subscribe right now to my YouTube channel. Join the WQ movement. Join the WQ community. Watch my podcast 6 p.m. Friday, which is today. Later today, 6 p.m. Pacific Coast time. Join there. It's big. This is bigger than big. This is one of the biggest moments pretty much in the entirety of gameplay. All of gameplay, every single gamer. There's 7 billion people on the planet. There's probably 1 billion gamers. If everybody in the past 40, 50 years of history, this is one of the biggest moments in all of gaming. Literally, you have a normal person. 5 years ago, I was just a regular gamer. I completely transformed. My gameplay is nearly optimized for real-time movement. It's completely unprecedented level. I started naturalizing my gameplay, which is like a 1 in a million thing. Almost nobody's naturalizing their gameplay. I started naturalizing my gameplay. My gameplay is just going through the roof. My ability to understand gameplay, my ability to comprehend gameplay, my ability to optimize gameplay and approach gameplay is just on a completely different level than anyone else. A year and a half later, and actually it's 3 months later, I proposed that macro natural gameplay is a real thing. It's a real thing. There's a deeper level of optimization. There's a deeper level of naturalization I can go. That's what I proposed in early 2017, 3 months after I discovered natural gameplay. Middle of 2018, September, it was like what, September 5th, September 6th, September 7th, I discovered, this is what I believe it's macro natural gameplay. This is the conceptual truth of macro natural gameplay. It's hard to say this is macro natural gameplay, because a week ago I thought macro natural gameplay was not a real thing. It was a red herring. And I had an argument for that because of this thing called doubt. Now, I do believe it's a real thing right now because I'm experiencing it live, 24/7. It's real, this is real. And the real reason is because this solves what's happening in my gameplay. It solves the macro natural question. It solves the paradox of macro natural gameplay. So it's like I kind of have to believe it's a real thing. Like, what was the one thing I proposed macro natural gameplay was? It was solution to anxiety. It's a real gameplay solution to anxiety. And it was a deeper level of naturalization, deeper level of optimization. There's no anxiety. If I'm not tilting, that's by effect there's no anxiety, because tilting is a fact of anxiety. So I'm not tilting because there's no anxiety. Now I'm sure there's anxiety, right? But the actual real-time gameplay issue was solved. The tilting's gone. This is what macro natural gameplay is supposed to solve. This is unprecedented. This is huge. Like, this is a big deal. Now, I actually do think this is level 1 of my gameplay, a macro natural gameplay phenomenon. I do think it's level 1. I do think it'll go bigger, but frankly, I got nothing to do in my gameplay theories. I'm kind of like, there's nothing else. When I discovered natural gameplay, I was going nuclear, and then 3 months later, I realized there was a deeper level of optimization. And I was like, huh, well, now what? A year and a half later, and honestly, guys, I never thought I would discover macro natural gameplay conceptually. I have. I'm like, well, now what do I do? Well, now what? I got nothing to do. I'm just out here. I guess I'll get every world record. I'll get the SM64 world records, like all this. I'll get every Link to the Past world record, no issue. Whatever other games I play, I'll get all those world records. There's no real issue now. Like I got nothing to do. Maybe there's something else. Like, I was thinking now I can completely let's have the next step to completely eliminate bad nerves, completely eliminate negative nervousness. How about that? Let's just eliminate that, and that's up next, because I didn't think I was able to completely on a conceptual, on a brain fundamental understanding level eliminate nerve tilting. Frankly, I didn't think it was a real thing, but it happened, and a lot of it happened because it's slower. It's just a slower thing. It's like I'm trying to save 20 seconds. If I could save 20 seconds in my PB, I'd have the world record Link to Pass. Okay, I need to save 20 seconds. Where can I save 20 seconds? It's not in movement. It's, you know, RNG is average. Where can I save 20 seconds? And actually, because I grind more than Zelda, I actually better the RNG than them. So it's like, where can I save 20 seconds? And it's like, I do a no reset run, and I look at the run, and it's like, actually, you know, the tilting. When you make an error and you recover half a second faster, if you make 10 errors, I just saved 5 seconds. That's ridiculous. 5 seconds is a very big deal in speedrunning. It's a very big deal. In Link to the Past speedrunning, it can make or break a run. It's the difference between a God run and PB pace run. It's a huge deal. But that's 10 mistakes. You make a lot more than 10 mistakes in a run. If I make 50 mistakes and I save 0.1 seconds per mistake, again, we're saving 5 seconds. 50 mistakes in 0.1 second. This is small. I mean, this could save up to 30 seconds in a run. That's ridiculous. Like that makes you beyond a god gamer. That turns your regular natural gameplay WQ gamer, which is like one of the best speedrunners in the world already, turn that into beyond the god gamer. It's beyond the level of the god gamer. Everybody's looking for the god gamer. That would put me beyond that level, far beyond that level. Unattainable. This is unattainable for most people. It's actually not unattainable for anybody. It's a real thing. It's a puzzle. I just solved the puzzle. Anybody can solve the puzzle. Like you get those 100-piece puzzles, and you're like, I don't know how to solve it. And then you're like, oh, no, here's the solution. And you're like, oh, anybody can do that. A child can do that. It doesn't matter. Anybody can do that. It's the same thing with macro natural gameplay. Anybody can do it. You just put the pieces together, which is pretty inspiring because you can do it. You can actually naturalize your gameplay. Understand the fundamental paradox of ego. Ego theory, which is that people pursue gameplay for ego, and therefore results are the only verifiable thing you can do, because any claim is a response to ego. So it's like, let's say somebody says, I could have won. No, that's your ego talking. And in fact, what that means is that you could have won. It means you intentionally created gameplay that failed in order to say that you could have won. That's what ego theory means. So that means that failure is absolute. And success is also absolute. It's 100% grounded by reality. So there's no reality where you are failing, but you could be better than an opponent. It's not possible. What that means is that all excuses are actually intentional, and it was from the ground up. It was years ago when you started playing the game. It was decided that you decided you're going to lose, and you're going to look like you could have won. And this is what tech skill. This is what optimizing tech skill and forgetting about real gameplay factors. That's what they're doing. They're trying to look better than the opponent, and then fail intentionally so they can claim that they could have won because it's an ego thing, right? It's designed to lose. Same thing with social justice politics. It's the same thing with clicks. It's the same thing with all gameplay that loses. 100% of gameplay. Because people desire ego 100%. Problem with ego theory is that ego theory is a part of ego theory, because ego theory explains why you're losing. It doesn't actually explain how to get better. It just explains why you're losing. So ego theory is actually a part of ego theory. It's mind-blowing. It's completely mind-blowing. That's the start of it. You have to solve that paradox. That's the paradox. You have to solve that paradox. Solving that paradox creates natural gameplay. Natural gameplay is going to optimize your gameplay, and you're going to create better gameplay. And that better gameplay is actually not, you're not going to lose anymore. You're going to start winning. And it's answered. The key to the puzzle is recreatable gameplay. That's the key to solve this ego theory paradox. Think about this paradox, and the key is you can't plug the key in, you have to understand it, right? The key to natural gameplay is actually understanding it. That's why natural gameplay solves itself. It's understanding. And the thing about natural gameplay is I do believe fundamentally it's conditional. But the problem with natural gameplay is it says conditional things are bad and unconditional things are good, but it is conditional because in order for it to work, it has to be unconditional, right? So it's technically conditional. So it's like, well, wait a minute, it doesn't make any sense. Now, it solves itself, but it doesn't make any sense. So I believe what macro natural gameplay really is, and this is why I have to apply it to itself, macro natural gameplay, it's the answer to that conditional paradox within natural gameplay itself. That's what I believe macro natural gameplay really is. Right now in 2018, that's what I've come to make sense. It's the only thing that makes sense to me. I have to call this perfect natural gameplay at some point, because it's a final solution to natural gameplay. Like there's no outs, and you see it reflected in results. It's completely reflected in results, but of course it's reflected in results because it's reflected in how you understand something. It changes your brain so you understand something differently, so you perform a different result. It actually, the whole thing solves itself. The whole thing, it checks out. The whole thing checks out. It's mind-blowing. It's completely mind-blowing gameplay. And the greatest thing about it is it works because it's all about real-time results. It's all about recreatable gameplay. If you're not recreating something, it's not recreatable. If you are recreating something, it is recreatable. That's how recreatable gameplay works. It's all about recreatable gameplay. And recreatable gameplay you can actually recreate, which means you can do it over and over. Boom. If you understand something, guys, if you believe in something, you can recreate it. Think about that too. Game changing. Now, I don't want to go too much into that. I could talk about that for hours. So that's not the point of this vlog. The point of this vlog is you can actually do this, okay? It's a real thing. If you understand it, you're going to be able to recreate a situation where you don't tilt. I've done probably 20 runs, none of them I tilted in. There's no sense of tilting. I'm not forcing it. I'm not trying to do it for my audience. Now, it's helping my stream out unbelievably. My stream's way better. My stream is way better. It's ridiculous. People are freaking out, and my stream is growing every day. Everybody's subscribing, everybody's donating bits. They're like, this is unprecedented. This guy's a god gamer and he's not tilting. This is unprecedented. People are really freaking out. And the world record holders that are about to lose their speedruns, they're about to lose their world records, they're panicking as well. But I'm not doing it for my stream. I'm not doing it for my stream. Although I'm glad it's helping my stream. No, I'm doing it because it's faster. Because it just makes sense. Like, why would he tilt? Like, really think about it. Why would he tilt? It's literally slower. It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. Like, it's just But the real reason I'm doing it, yeah, it just doesn't make sense. I'm doing it for the gameplay. So actually, there's a fundamental difference in gameplay. It has nothing to do with the entertainment value. There's an actual difference in gameplay. My gameplay, when I perform in the game, I do different things and I react differently to certain things, and the effect is not tilting. The actual effect is not tilting, which is really great. So it actually, the whole thing solves itself, the whole thing works out, it checks out. But yeah, if you guys heard anybody do any of this stuff, let me know. I'm interested. Comment below. Also like this video, guys, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I think the whole thing's pretty interesting, and we're gonna see, you know, what happens, because again, it's like the longest I ever really didn't tilt was about 1.5 months. And guys, when I play like a god in League of Legends, like I could play god in League of Legends, and I got diamond in 3 weeks of not playing the game in 2 years. From ground up, yeah, and I've never been diamond 4, so I literally just became a god. Literally, I won 40 games in a row. From plat 3 to diamond 4, I literally won. I went like 39 and 3. I'm not even making that up. Literally from ground up, not playing the game in 2 years. I was never diamond before, like straight up. This is real. You can look that up. And actually, if you do look at my stats, I'm not diamond in season 5 because I decayed. Because I got diamond in 1 month and I just stopped playing because I was like, I don't care anymore. Because this game's too easy. So I was like plat 1, 100 LP or something. But like, look at the, you have to find like a win chart, a win-loss ratio chart. It's just unprecedented stuff. I was playing very similar to right now. I was in an emotional state though. I was an emotionally charged state right there. So I wasn't tilting and I was playing with 100% conviction and force. It was completely mind-blowing. A little bit different. Right now, I'm not tilting for gameplay things, so it's actually more recreatable. It's like a permanent thing, which is great. Also, it's gonna scale with like how hard I'm trying. So if I'm not trying, I'm not gonna play very well, even though I'm not gonna tilt. But if I'm like super hard trying, I'm gonna play like extraordinarily well. It's pretty, like this is pretty heavy stuff. Like this is pretty mind-blowing and stuff. Like it's just completely nuclear. I mean, again, if you guys have ever, and I actually, like again, thinking about it, I do think there's some players that mechanically don't tilt. I actually do think like Zelna, like I think for the most part, Zelna mechanically doesn't tilt. Like he's extraordinarily consistent, and he usually is able to turn runs back around. He always finishes runs, and he like continually improves. I think it's because a lot of it is because he just doesn't tilt. Mechanically, he doesn't tilt, right? And so what happens is he's able to turn, like lose 20 seconds at the start, and then just, you know, slowly gain time over time. Because if you think about it, lose 20 seconds at the start, I can still PB if I get the right RNG. If I get the wrong RNG, I can just reset. What's the big deal? Like, I can still PB, like, who cares? I think, like, on a similar level, he doesn't tilt. So, like, I don't know. I think there's probably speedrunners. Like, I would say he's the only speedrunner I've seen. Now, I do think Zelna's way ahead of everyone else in speedrunning. Like, far ahead of everyone else in speedrunning. I think most people in speedrunning, like, they think if you get a world record, you're on par with everyone else that gets a world record. That's garbage. That's not actually how it works at all. You have to really look at the reality of gaming in that, look at Melee, right? So there's like, well, how many people play Melee? There's a lot. Now you go to your local and some guy first stocks you and you're like, wow, he's good. And then he gets 9th in the tournament and the guy who first place first stocks him. And then that guy who got first place isn't even close to top 100. And then the top 100 player would first stock him. And then the top 50 player would dominate him. And then the top 10 player would just murder him. There's no effort. It's a complete joke. And the top 10 players aren't winning anything. They're not winning anything. They've never won anything. They're not even close to winning anything. The top 3, I would say right now, top 3 players, they just completely dominate everybody. Like, what's happening in Melee, it's pretty typical. It's actually pretty normal of like skill distribution. So you have the same thing in speedrunning, but in speedrunning, since it's subdivided into communities, the skill distribution's all messed up. So everybody has a world record, but it's like some people are way better than others. And usually you just look at like size of community or like how serious the community is. And I think that's actually a really good grinding point. But the reality is Zelna is far excelling the majority of Link Pass community. The only person Zelna doesn't far excel is me. Well, shocker there, no real shocker there. But everyone else in Link Pass, like far excels. I mean, there's no comparison. So something's going on with Zelna, and that's actually usually what I use to determine are speedrunners relevant? Do they play a competitive game? Do they play a relevant game? Okay, that's like two values. Are they excelling over anyone else? That's the matter. It's like if there's 4 players and they're all tied in a pretty competitive game, I mean, they can't be that good at it, right? And I'm talking on a global scale. I'm talking on the highest of the highest level scale. You know, this is like Faker level. We're talking like Mango Armada level. Like, I'm not talking about world record after playing for 2 months. Come on, guys. I don't care about this stuff. Okay, not your Burger King speedrunners. These Burger King speedrunners, they play like some random game. No one's ever heard of them. They have every record. People like Anti, who was cheating in GTA, this guy doesn't count. If you take Anti's feats in Grand Theft Auto before he was cheating, garbage. The fact that he's cheating, it's like, okay, well, this is just hilarious. Yeah, this is the reality speedrun of, you know, these like kind of world record culture. So I know a lot of people think it's pretty controversial, but what I'm gonna do is get pretty good at Super Mario 64, and I actually have a package I'm gonna unbox at the end of this video. And we're gonna test my theories. We're gonna see really what's going on. Like, I have a pretty good evaluation of where Zelda stands in the grand scheme of things. I don't have an evaluation of where the SM64 guys stand in the grand scheme of things. I have absolutely no idea. I know they play all day. I know they play a hell of a lot. I know they have been playing for years, but really we have no idea how good they are. I mean, how good are the old school Donkey Kong, Arcade, Pac-Man people? They've been playing for decades. Literally been playing for decades. GoldenEye runners playing for decades. How good are these people in the grand scheme of things? Because if you guys look at the reality of gameplay, it's not about time dedicated, it's a puzzle. Look at the best teams in Korea. And actually Griffin, one of the best teams in Korea, they did not qualify for Worlds, but they got second in the regular season. They actually had the same score as the first place. They were by far the star team. These guys were basically all amateurs. They're all under the age of 18. They've never played competitively before, yet they're winning virtually the highest level of competition in the world, in the most competitive scene globally. It's not about time played, it's about understanding gameplay, right? This is fundamentally, let's look at Viper in the League of Legends team. He's like 17. Faker was 16 when he won his first World Championship. He was the best player in the world at League of Legends. He was 16 years old. It's not about time played. Your whole time played argument, these Burger King speedrunners, they use this time played argument, they use this world record argument. They're the first to lose. They're the first to lose. The WQ speed apocalypse that's coming, set to destroy everybody. The Burger King speedrunners are the first to lose. And honestly, I think really nobody believes in Burger King speedrunners anyway. Like, let's be real. I think a lot of people don't realize it's about understanding the puzzle, so they kind of give up. And it's like, I think when they get older, they stick to their belief systems, because that's why you stick to your belief systems, because you believe in it, you think it's the best, you believe in it, so of course you would stick to it, right? So somehow I learned how to actually change my beliefs, and I really think that's the one thing I'm good at. I actually change my beliefs, and I changed my beliefs again recently to not tilt. I think there's a lot of players that don't tilt. We'll see what happens like when I get better. I mean, at this point, I'm going to become a super god, high entertaining stream, very big stream on Twitch, very big notable name in this world of gaming at this point, which is pretty cool because I'm already pretty notable, but people are really going to see the truth. They're going to see the real truth real soon. And actually, I think Faker's interesting because most speedrunners who think they're good at speedrunning, you look at their actual feats and they're not consistent, they're not dedicated, they're not stable, they're not super reliable. They don't know exactly what to do. They don't know how to specifically how to optimize the movement instantly. Look at Zelda's feats in speedrunning. He by far excelled over anybody since then, anybody currently in any game. Better feats in terms of time played, better feats in terms of optimizing movement with less resources, got goals quicker, more PBs, more reliably, better PBs comparatively, better PBs comparatively. You just look at the numbers, and then you realize this is 3 years ago, and there's no strats, there's no practice hack. And it's still better PBs, it's just look at the numbers. Like, he was getting 124, I think his first 124 in 3 blue balls. Almost nobody does that. I don't think anybody's PB'd with 3 blue balls as their first 124. I think his first one had 3 blue balls, because he's so good at speedrunning, it's just ridiculous. And then this was in 2014, this is a year after he started. No practice hack, with a broken game saver. He didn't even practice because his game saver broken. Just doing no reset runs, literally just doing no reset runs. And people think, people don't, it's so far above. Yeah, if you know, there are gamers that do this, and it's like, I'm turning into that, like literally turning into that. It's ridiculous. But you know what, it gets even more ridiculous because you look at Faker. Faker is the same deal. I mean, I don't know how long he played for like several years, because he was 16, so he probably started playing at like 13 or something, 14. But he was playing for several years, I'm sure, at least 2 years. I mean, some players just get good, they can get 6 months. But Faker can play any champion at the highest level, destroys lane opponent in any situation, and no nerves. There's no nerves, there's no sense of nerves. Like literally his best seasons in League of Legends, he would just play a new champion every single game, a new champion, in the finals. No nerves, and he destroys lane opponent. Like, how can you understand how to, so what Faker was doing at the highest level of competition in the most popular game, 100 million players, he would find a champion, melee champions, attack damage, magic, supports in there. Immediately understand how to play the champion. Immediately play 5 games of solo queue or 10 games of solo queue or whatever, maybe even 50. You know, we don't know how much he plays. Figure out how to properly play this champion in the highest pressure setting against the best players possible. What buttons to use, what strats to use, when to level up skills, when to lane, when to roam. He would immediately understand this stuff. Immediately, it's understanding. It's all rooted in understanding. In gameplay. But yeah, gamers, guys, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, guys, follow my Twitch, okay? My Twitch is going nuts. I'm going nuts. there's no pressure. There's no tilting. There's no pressure. I'm just having fun. It's gonna blow up. I'm really trying to get partner. I'm like really close to partner on Twitch, and it's gonna be crazy. Now, the thing I want to say also is that the WQ Speed Apocalypse is 100% coming, guys. It's 100% coming. And not only is the WQ Speed Apocalypse coming, but I've already PB'd low percent. Like literally already PB'd in low percent, which is like mind blowing. So and that was actually after the not tilting thing, and I did the run. I PB'd. I looked at the run, and I'm like, this is not possible if I was tilting. It's just flat out not possible. I had 3 runs since then that almost PB'd. One of them I failed on Moldorm. 2, it was RNG. I just like dashed him and he knocked me off. I was like, that's kind of cool. And then I got a gold yen and I was plus 10 on my PB. That run also had 3 blue balls, right? Ridiculous, just ridiculous. I had another run that was plus 13 at Skull Woods, and I was like, okay, normally I would just tilt out, and not only that, I lost 10 in Harrow just on like, I don't know, some random mistake. Plus 13 at Skull Woods, and then, yeah, normally I would just tilt to hell and the run's over. And then almost every split after that was like very good. I almost PB'd, and then I fell twice in Moldorm, and then I died again, and I was only plus like 30 or something. It's just ridiculous. I got a 25.03, I got a 25.16, I got another 25.03, a 25.04. It's just playing incredible. It's playing like absolutely incredible. I had another run that almost PB too. It's like every day I get like 2 runs that are either, you know, and there's so much RNG Link to Pass. It's like, at this point, it's literally just, I flip 50 coins, 10 of them will PB. You know, I flip 10 coins, I might PB, I might not PB. Like, we have no idea. But if I, you know, flip 20 coins, it's like almost certainly all PB. So, anyway guys, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching my video, WQQQQWRT. I'm leaving now. See you guys later. Keep it real. Yo, what's poppin' gamers? What's good gamers? WQQQQWRT here, gamers, and my microphone is on. So yeah, I'm actually gonna be unboxing this package I got in the mail. And if you can guess what it is, guys, I might give it to you. No. Well, actually, I'd be surprised if anybody guessed what it is, so maybe I will. But yeah, let's unpackage this thing, so I'll move my keyboard out of the way. Just rip it open. Rip it open. Okay, there we got first here. Dope. Okay, so it's actually a Hori controller. The Super Mario 64. Yeah, this is for Super Mario 64. Yeah, it is. You can tell it's actually used. Yeah, it's actually not a new controller. It's actually used. Apparently, it's not perfect, but it works for spins. And my SM64 controller actually the stick's really nice, and I have been noticing with the spins. Yeah, I can see how this could ruin it. So yeah, I really appreciate the Hori controller. I think that's probably. So big shout out to that one. But also, gamers, it's not done yet. Yeah, actually, the main functionality of this was actually, this is a Game Shark. This is a Game Shark Pro. So this is really dope. And I don't know what this is. I guess a SCART tab or something. Yeah, this is actually for practicing Mario 64, which is going to be really helpful because I don't have a practice tool. I like literally can't practice the game. I'm playing it, I'm doing incredible, I'm like changing the game, but I can't practice. So this is actually a huge help. So I really appreciate this as well as the game changing. And I actually think this has the SM64 codes, or most of the SM64 codes on it. I'm not entirely sure. But I can just implement that if they don't. But that's like really big, so I really appreciate that out. Okay guys, so this is actually an extension, N64 extension cable. So this is pretty cool. Actually, doesn't look like I'm gonna need this. Apparently this is really helpful for putting your Hori next to you if your like TV's far away. My TV is 2 feet away from me, so yeah, I won't actually need this. But this whole setup here is pretty dope. So yeah, big shout outs. Thank you, Alive, for showing. But yeah, gamers, that's huge. That's a huge help to me and actually to everybody part of the WQ universe, part of the WQ community, because this is gonna actually help me practice Mario 64. Now, let me be obvious and clear what I'm trying to do with Mario 64. I'm trying to get better at the game, mostly for exposure, because there's a huge audience in Mario 64. And honestly, I do think it's kind of a healthy audience for the most part. Like, I'm always criticizing speedrun communities, and my time in making YouTube videos, I did notice there's some problems. Like, a lot of the moderators were like really critical of me and just, you know, on nonsense stuff, and then they would actually like listen to my advice, which I'm like, okay, well, obviously there's some problems, but for the most part, actually I do like the community. I think it's really healthy. But also because SM64 has like really good speedrun mechanics. It's a really great game. I actually always wanted to run speedrun Mario 64, but I just decided to run Link to the Past, and then I just kept running that. Now, I used to watch SM64 tasks back in like 2007 or 2008 on YouTube a little bit. That's like my first introduction before I even really knew what speedrunning was. And then in 2012, when I started to get into speedrunning, I saw this SM64 stuff. It's like pretty cool. It's a little bit relatable because I'd seen a little bit of it before. I thought it was like really, the whole thing was just like really dope. 2013, I really started to get into speedrunning, and 2018, so 6 years after my first introduction, hey, let's actually start speedrunning Mario 64. My audience is getting so big, we're getting so powerful, guys. It's really working out. The whole thing's really working out. So, yeah, I actually really appreciate this, and it's going to be a huge help. I don't know how far I'm going to take Mario 64. Like, I would like to get the records, but you do have to play a game for like a long period of time just to have the required movement. And then on top of that, there's a lot of labbing you have to do. There's a lot of real practice. It's like real work. It's like, okay, 12 hours of just practice, recording videos, figuring out exactly what I'm doing wrong, finding better ways to do it, you know, talking to people, say, hey, what do you do? What am I doing wrong here? It takes a lot of work. So it would take a long time to get the record, but we're going to try our best, and we're going to have fun and see where life takes us. And I do think I'm probably going to try to get competitive times in Mario 64. Like having a 155 and 70 star, it's pretty fun as a meme. I have 8 PBs out of 8 runs. I have a 100% PB ratio, but that's going to end pretty soon because I'll probably get much better PBs in the future. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure to follow my YouTube. Make sure to follow my Twitch. Follow me on Twitter. You know the business. We're going to go nuclear. WQ Army, the WQ community is growing so fast lately. My stream is going insane. My YouTube channel is already really powerful. Twitter is already killing the game. My Twitch channel is finally back up on the same level as all my rest of my social media. It's 100% positivity here. It's 100% real gaming. It's 100% WQQQQWRT. It's 100% effective excellence. We're killing the game. Anyway, I will see you guys later.